Everyone, back again. So yeah, I've done it again. I bought another shed load of comics, probably 500 odd I think this time. Most of them are going to be either ratios or limited editions or variant covers, so hopefully there's a few good ones. I didn't do any direct comps, but I did get them at a really good price. I think it works out at around $2 a comic, so if there's some kind of good variants in there, then there's definitely value to be had. Yeah, we'll take a look. So I did buy a few graded comics, my first ever graded comics, so I'm pretty excited about that. Got the 3 of them here. They're all good grades, all kind of 9.8. I tried to do some comp online, but it was really hard to find any comps for these exact ones. Just looking on the back here, I think I've done pretty well if they actually go for what they were retailing for. It was a liquidation stock, so if they're retailing for what they are in the stores, then I'm going to do pretty well. I'll do a bit more comp research and I'll take you through them once I get home. I'm just waiting for the guys to bring them out from the shed. Yeah, and we'll get home and start seeing what we've got.
Little parcels. 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 5, 7,
1, 8, 2,
10,
yeah, we're missing some.
11, 12, 14, 15, that's it. Oh,
15 or 16?
There you go.
Okay. Well, we did tick off everything, I'm fairly...
Okay, here we go. I've got one more. They've miscounted. There's one more to come. I'm loving that they're all marked with what they are, so that'll make locating them a lot more easier. But yeah, we're going to be everything: Spider-Man, Power Rangers, Star Wars, Superman, Avengers. Yeah, so looking forward to going through these when we get home. A little bit more work because they're annotated with what they are. It's going to take a lot less time than the last batch. All right, we'll let them grab the last package and then we'll get on our way back home. All right, so picked up the final one. They found it in the warehouse. On our way back now, so we'll make our way home. We'll start doing a bit of research and listing. Pretty excited. I think this lot has a lot of potential value as well, so yeah, we'll see how we go. Okay, so we're back home. We've got the comics all set out. I'll take you through maybe the process that we run through. Okay, so here we have the 3 graded comics that I purchased today. Paid roughly, well, in the auction I paid $40 each for them, but if we average the cost out over the complete lot of comics, it works out probably about $2 a unit. So $2 a unit for, you know, a 9.8 graded comic is pretty good, I reckon, especially considering some of the values that were put on them as retail. So this one was retailing at $230, this one for $120, and this one for $150. So should get some good returns. I don't know whether I'll actually get for that on eBay or not, but at least we can start there perhaps and start bringing the prices down. I'm thinking maybe $500 maybe for the lot. We'll see. We'll get them listed and see what they end up going for, but that goes a long way just to covering the cost of the complete lot of comics that we've purchased. So I've got all the comics in here now. They're all in their little piles, ready to be sorted. So what I'm doing is then taking them out of their little bags. I'm going to put them all into comic boxes. I'm going to put them in alphabetically just to see if I've got any series that are all together, and then I can maybe do them as lots or variation listings. So this will all be over the next, probably tomorrow. I'll get them all out of their little bags and put into comic boxes, and then we can start doing the research. What I am finding is most of them have both a description on the front saying what variant it is, or whether it's a limited edition or something. and most of them have at least a retail price on the back. Out of this lot, I think I saw one that was like $80. Yeah, this one was listed at $80 when it was in the store that was selling it. The fact that it's still here and hasn't sold is probably a good sign. It probably isn't worth 80 bucks. But I'll do the research. We'll get them listed, even if we start them at 80 bucks and do like a reverse auction where I just keep dropping the price every 30 days until someone picks it up or someone makes an offer perhaps. But it's a good sign that there are some valuable comics in here. They were advertised as limited edition and variant covers, and I knew, I think the most I paid was $45 for a lot. So when there was 30 comics in each lot, it worked out pretty well. So I know I should make my money back. It might be a bit of a slow going to get the money back, but I think overall there's a lot of profit in here. If I look at this lot, this is the trade paperback lot that I've been working through. I think if I manage to sell them all for what they're retailing for, or at least what I comp them up for, there's $25,000 worth of profit there. So, and that's profit, not revenue. So it'll take a while, but I'm pretty sure there's some good value there, and I'm happy just to sit on them. What I'll start doing now is getting them listed up onto Facebook Marketplace as well. I'm even looking at maybe heading down to a comic book convention or something like that, a collectibles convention, and trying to sell them there, because they are all as new condition. Some of them are even sealed as new, so I've got no qualms about selling them for good money, and I can even give a good discount so people can get some good deals as well. Okay, well, I'll get start putting these into alphabetical order, and then I'll show you the next part of the process as I start doing the research. Okay, we're getting there. I've been busily working away this morning, moving them all from their little plastic bags and putting them into alphabetical order in these comic boxes. Got a few here that I'm not sure what they are, so I need to do a bit of research for them. Pricing on these may be a lot better than I thought they were going to be. I thought most of them were going to kind of be around that $15 mark. At least the retail values, the price that they were being sold for in the store that got liquidated, some of them are up to 100 bucks. Most, I would say, are between that kind of $20 and $60 mark. A lot around mostly the $40 range. Even if I get half of that for them, I think we'll do really well. Hopefully there is a lot of issues in here that are rare and are collectible and people want. The fact that they got liquidated perhaps means that they aren't the most wanted copies, but we'll see. As I start doing the research and getting them listed, we'll soon find out, I guess. I'm just wondering if there are kind of $100 comics in here, whether it's worth getting them graded, because the price could then kind of triple 5 times the retail price. So I think as I go through as well, I'll also look at the graded prices that they're going for on eBay. I'm not really sure where else to go for graded prices. I don't know if there's a website where you can go and look at comics that have been graded and find out what they are worth. But again, that's something I'll research as we start working through. A lot of kind of good books in here, a lot of Superman, Avengers, Batman and Robin, Power Rangers, Turtles. So a real selection of different things. A lot of Marvel stuff, which is good. A lot of DC stuff, which I know will probably sell a lot better than maybe some of the independent stuff I've had before. Okay, I'm going to keep working and getting these comics stacked up and away, and then we can start the fun part of doing the research and getting them listed. Okay, next step in getting these comics listed is to do a little bit of research, get them priced up, and then put onto eBay ready for sale. So the process I kind of go through, I grab a comic. This one is The Amazing Spider-Man #1. It's a Chung variant, 1 in 50 ratio. So for every 50 of #1 that the comic book stores purchased, they got one of these to sell as well. So that's why they're kind of a little bit rarer, and probably hopefully will be a little bit more expensive. So what we do, first of all, I start out on comicbookrealm.com. I find it really good because it has prices, it has a lot of information, kind of who the artists are, but it also has pricing, and you can save your all your comics into a collection, so you can see kind of how much they're worth, how much profit you're making, which is pretty good. So first of all, I enter in the comic book name, so the Amazing Spider-Man, and then let's just try Amazing Spider-Man. Oh, of course. The one bad thing about this site is that you need to be really exact with your spelling. It doesn't do like an open search, which some of the other sites do, but this one does. So the Amazing Spider-Man, I'm guessing this is around 2023. So we're going to go to volume 6. And then it should be under issues. It'll be one of these number ones. So we just start clicking down. I'm not sure, it doesn't tell us, this chunk, but it doesn't tell us which one that is. So we can just start looking down to see if we can find a cover that matches. So here we have the match. You can see it's the Incentive Jim Chung variant cover. The cover matches the cover. What I also look for is we make sure that all of the extra bits and pieces are here, so the barcode's in the same place, the Marvel logo and stuff is all the same, the colours are all the same. Often with different versions of the comics, sometimes they change the lettering depending on what print it is. We just want to make sure that it matches what we've got. So we found the one that matches here, so it's the 1i variant. What I'll do, so we can see that they're saying that's going to be around that $28 price point. So first of all, I'm just going to add that to my collection. So I know I paid in US dollars, I paid $1.28 for these, and I'm adding it to this pile, and then that adds it to my collection. Then what I'll do, I'll just do a quick check on eBay sold comps to see what the sold comps are going for. So a quick flick through to see if I can find the same. So I might need to do so this is it here. So we've got some sold comps of 20. It was only from the US. Some more 23, 15. So looking here, we can see that the comp is probably a bit high, and I generally find it's kind of $5 high. So I'll probably do this one for around that $25 mark. I've also been using this site kind of recently, which is pricecharting.com. Again, well into the name of the comic, and then I flick through to find the one. So I might even just do a quick search for Chung, which is this one. So ungraded, we can see this is going for around 22 bucks. So I think $25 is going to be about what I list it for. These are brand new comics as well, so if I was to get them graded, I expect them to grade quite high, around that 9.2 to 9.8. So I know that 25 bucks isn't extortionate. It also shows you all the sold comps here too. So we are seeing some sold comps for around a little bit higher, around that 43. I think 25 is probably what I'm going to list it for, because I think it will sell through pretty quickly. So yeah, the next step. Okay, so the next step is to get it listed on eBay. So I always start off with the title. I like to do camel case, so that's where the first letter is always capitalized. Then I put the issue number, which is number 1. Then in this case I'm going to say there's a 1 in 50 variant, and then what I normally do is grab the description from Comic Book Realm. So in this case it's the Incentive Jim Chung variant cover. I'll pop that in there. So if I've got any space left, I'll normally put the publisher, which in this case is Marvel, and the year, which is 2022. And that has all of the keywords in there. It tells you all about the comic, and I think that's what most people will be searching on. For this lot, I'm always listing them as like new, because they are brand new, straight out of a retail store that's been liquidated. So then I'll go through, I'll take a picture. So for these comics, all I'm doing is taking a picture of the front cover. I'm not taking them out of the plastic holders and the rest of it. I find that people are quite happy, as long as they can see it's a picture of the comic, they're happy to buy it on that. And I've got lots of good feedback as well, saying the quality of my comics is pretty good. So we've got the picture in there now, the title's already done. We can see we've used up most of our character limit here. I always put in my SKU so I know which batch of comics I'm selling them out of. We make sure that we've got the right series title. We know this is Spider-Man. We know this is in the Marvel universe. We know it's published by Marvel Comics. We know it's a comic book. We know it's published in 2022. It's a single issue. If I know who the artist and writer is, because some of the comics that I sell are a bit random, however, people will be shopping or have their favorite artists or writers. So if I know what that is, I will go ahead and put it in there. And that's all usually on Comic Book Realm. So if I can see here, the editor is Nick Lowe and Zeb Wells. So there we go. So Zeb Wells is already in there, so we'll grab him. Caramanga. Joe Caramanga's in there. Who else have we got? Kohik. Hannah. Scott Hannah, yeah, so we'll put him in there. Niccolo Menz. Julia. Okay, so that's some of the artists in there. That should help people pick it up. It's always, well, these are all modern age comics. What else do I feel? I'll put in here superheroes, actions and adventure. The cover artist we know was Jim Chung, I think. Yep. So we stick that in there. We know it's an incentive variant, so we drop incentive variant in there. And then, especially for first issues, I always like to put the issue number in, because people might always be searching for that first issue. Condition description. Generally for these comics, because they're brand new and they've been sealed since they've come into the shop, I'm not putting any commentary in here. I'm just leaving it as like new. And then I do use the AI description. But then what I do also do is take a standard piece of text. But all comics are shipped bagged and boarded, which they are bagged and boarded already. And I'm always happy to do deals on bulk purchases, and I'll always combine shipping. And I will. So it's when people either message me and ask for, hey, I'm going to buy all these comics, can you do a good price? I'll always try and do something. And I will refund postage as well if people buy a bunch of comics from me. Have a quick read through the AI and make sure it's not saying anything crazy. I know, when I'm listing some older comics, it always says like this comic's in excellent condition, and it's not, so I need to make sure we're taking that out. So pricing on this one, we're going to put this in at $25. I'm going to allow open offers on. I've got a little scale here that I always just do a quick check. These normal comics are about 150 to 200 grams. Yeah, so this one would be 200 grams, including the packaging, because I know the packaging is about 75 grams. I know I use the same boxes. Single copies, so that all of my comics will be shipped in these. So they're really good sturdy envelopes. They're 33 by 24. And you can fit kind of 4 or 5 comics in them. What I have been doing, if people have been buying more, is just cutting down the sides and then folding it around, kind of making scores and folding it around. And then most of the time that will then slip into a small prepaid or a small satchel. So rather than paying by weight, you can get up to I think it's up to 2 kilos inside your little bag. So that works out pretty well for me with postage, especially at the moment with a a level 5 promo code. It really saves on postage, and you make a few dollars extra in postage. I always put 3 centimeters as a minimum, just in case I have to bubble wrap them or something goes weird. I like to promote at 3%. That's it. We are now listed on eBay. So that's the process I'll go. I'll go through each comic and do that process. Some are quicker than others. Sometimes if I can't find the cover, or I'm not sure of the spelling or the title, these are pretty good because this batch has kind of what it is down the bottom for the most part. When I'm looking at some of the more obscure comics that I've purchased, it does take me a little time maybe to find out what they are. What I have found is on most of the inside of the covers, where it tells you kind of the print version, it'll tell you exactly what the comic name is. And I think almost all comics I've found on Comic Book Realm. So at least between Comic Book Realm, eBay, and the other pricing site, you'll always find like the comics of Google reverse image search as well. That's what I've used in this batch, where there was a bunch of kind of blank covers. I was able to just do some Google image searching to find what comic it was, and then jump onto here, Comic Book Realm, and confirm exactly what number it was, who the artist was, etc. That's the process. Each comic I can get it down to kind of 30 seconds a minute for each comic, so it doesn't take long. It's always fun and interesting. I like looking at the artwork, and it's always interesting to see like what type of covers cost more, what type of comics are in demand. So yeah, that's my comic process. I'll keep you updated as we move through selling the comics. I know I'll do a what sold just now. I sold 5 or 6 trade paperbacks and a stack of comics from the other collection. So they are selling. They are slow tail, so I'm in no particular rush to get rid of them. I think I'll start listing them on Facebook Marketplace now as well, once I've got all of this latest batch listed, just to try and shift them a little bit quicker. Yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Hope it was a bit of an insight into how I are doing my comics. If you've got any suggestions, any comments, please let me know. I'm always happy to learn, and I want to improve my processes. Yeah, if you want to buy a couple of thousand comics, let me know. I'm always up for a deal as well. Okay, that's it for this video. We'll catch you next time.